Test. All right, greetings and salutations. Sorry about that. Hoping all is well. Another episode of Fangs Up, and this is not our normally regular scheduled time, and I understand that. Uh, we normally do our shows live on YouTube. Also, we stream them on Twitter as well as other areas as well, either Facebook or Twitch. Gonna try to do 6 platforms this year though. Once the football season gets started. But this past week, Florida was being Florida, and lightning struck my router. And when that happened, that obviously killed my internet capabilities outside using my cell phone. And I think y'all may have gotten accustomed to having a better quality than my cell phone as far as camera, as far as video work. It does very well for pictures, but as far as a video, it doesn't always do the best. And then sometimes, as you all have seen, people call you in the middle of the show. So today we're going to do 2 shows. So I'm going to do my regular 8:30 show, and this one is the Arkansas Pine Bluff Homecoming preview. If you've already listened to the audio podcast, it's the 30-minute version of that. But this afternoon we're going to talk about the Southern game, and that's going to be kind of fun as well. To me, that's like Homecoming Part 2, largely because the North Florida Fair is going to be taking place at the same time, which one of my favorite fairs in the state. I got my top 3. If you're from Florida like me, I'm from North Florida, so my local fair is obviously one of my favorites. Second favorite is probably the State Fair and the Strawberry Festival. Strawberry Festival is awesome. It is always a good time, and they have some really good artists that come through. I saw Charlie Wilson, so I didn't go last year for Boys and Men. We'll see what they have this year. But let's go ahead and get on with the get down and check what time. That was a minute. All right, so we lost Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas was the voice of FAMU athletics, and that was a big loss for us. Not just because of what he had become, but what he had done. One of the things he had done was he had become so integral in so much that was going on, especially within the past couple of years. If you notice, the basketball program had a show where both coaches were talking, and that's something that we haven't really seen very often in FAMU athletics. And obviously, the coach Willie Simmons, football coaches have had a show since forever. I don't remember a time when FAMU football coaches did not have a some type of television show. I believe going back to the Riley era. Again, I was extremely small back then, but I want to say FAMU had a coaching show then for the football coach. But outside of maybe when Gillespie was at FAMU, I don't really remember us having a basketball focused show, and for good reason. Basketball program wasn't always that good, but you have people like Mike Thomas who were, especially in this generation, using the advent of social media, which we will get to later on, to be able to continue to talk about FAMU athletics, talk about what it was, talk about what it wasn't, and kind of hold the coach's feet to the fire in a very nice way. I appreciated throughout the season, especially when he sat down with Coach Pillow. I thought he did a great job of not belaboring the point that the basketball team wasn't good, that they weren't winning, but also addressing that the team wasn't winning and finding out from the coach what was going on and using his experience to be able to inquire deeper than some others may have been able to. Some of the questions he asked, I would not have been able to ask. He was asking basketball specific questions to Coach Pillow, and it allowed her to get into the X's and O's. And to me, that allowed her to be able to show, I know what the hell I'm doing. And that's important as a coach, because when you're not winning, the first question is, why aren't we winning? Does this person know what they're doing? And it also allowed Coach Pillow to share, COVID is kicking our butts. Injuries is wearing us out. And then for you to see it the next week, to see that sometimes we got 8, 10 players out there, you could see what she was talking about was valid and true. So that was a big loss for FAMU athletics as far as that loss there. And that's gonna be a tough replacement, and especially at a tough time in athletics when we don't have an athletic director and other things are happening. We're going to talk about the addition of coaches later on this afternoon, actually this evening. I have to use proper terms. But On to a more positive note, FAMU baseball did get a commitment. Cameron Kelly, he commits to FAMU, and if you look at his social media page, it looks like it's a lot of fun. I'm hoping that he can be a dugout guy that I see in the pictures because FAMU baseball can be a fun product to watch. It is frustrating when we're playing larger teams and losing. I especially was annoyed at the UCF game, but we hung in there for a while. I do not go to the other games during the season. Thought about the Cookman game. I might make that one this year though, because Cookman plays at a minor league baseball facility. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I've become a little bit of a college baseball snob. I done got spoiled by going over to Dick Howser Stadium and watching those games at Florida State. And then I go to FAMU and watch baseball games at more kiddos. And I love seeing my family. I love seeing my FAMU lead, but it's a different experience and you get spoiled. So I want to see that though. And I anticipate more good things from FAMU baseball. I thought we had a pretty good season uh, in conference. Out of conference, it is what it is. We play a good schedule though. To not consider that UCF is a good baseball program. Stetson routinely has really good players. Stetson actually has players in the Major League Baseball league right now. Like, you're playing against college baseball programs that are going to the playoffs and producing high level talent. And I believe UCF hosted a regional. I may be misspeaking, but I'm fairly sure I remember them hosting a regional for both baseball and softball. It may have just been softball, but one of those stick sports, they did host a regional. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But again, that's what we need. We need continued talent coming in, continued investment, and hopefully we sharpen the players that we already have. I want to see if we can get a full time assistant for Coach Shoop. That's going to help with recruiting because we've seen the facilities upgrade as far as the field. We've seen that the other facilities, especially like at least having a locker room, are things that we have there. The batting cages have been improved. Next thing for more kiddos to me is to improve the stands. It would be nice to have at least a 500 to 1,000 seat grandstand that is covered because a lot of your diehard FAMU baseball fans are actively at the games, but they're aging. And it would also encourage some of your students to come. Like, make more kiddos games fun for the students. I personally I like baseball. Baseball is one of those sports that it's becoming a very niche sport. It's not like football. It's not like basketball. So let's find a way to do that. I think that would be really cool. I don't know if you could bring the 100 to a game. That would probably be kind of hard, but maybe have some music that plays during the seventh inning stretch, something out there, some type of just pizzazz to add to the program. Steal something from the Savannah Bananas that you can add to FAMU baseball within the rules of college baseball. Now we also have the men's basketball campus taking place, and if you have not seen Coach Ike Brown and the other posts, they are making it seem like it's exciting. The camp sold out though, so there is no more spaces available, and this is something that you probably heard some of us say within FAMU athletics world or atmosphere. Us pundits, I guess I'm a pundit. I don't think I'm that. Uh, Whatever. I don't hold myself in that high of a regard, but I'm just a man. But I think we said the same thing about women's basketball. Like, it'd be nice to have a camp. And these things are awesome because and it's Sunday, so I'm not gonna be too long because I am going to church. We're doing digital church because COVID and kind of walk back in my house. So we just trying to make sure we protect everybody. But that being said, I don't have it this time. But we still want to make sure we're responsible to the ones we love and we worship with. But we're gonna do church online. But that being said, it would be great to have FAMU women's basketball put on a camp. I know Coach Pillow stated that it is a lot, and I understand that. I respect that. I would just love to see us be able to include our local schools. And I think that's something that we may be missing out on. That may be something that we we can do almost like a mega camp type atmosphere. Maybe you don't do it at FAMU. Maybe you do it at one of the community centers or something like that. But have multiple schools come to one area, bring the recruits, and talk to the players, coach the players, show them the culture at FAMU, and bring coaches from, I don't know if FSU, I don't think Coach Hamilton would do it. He might. I don't know him that well. I've only met him like 2 or 3 times. Uh, and it really wasn't anything to like talk about. It's just like, "Hey, how you doing? What's up, coach?" But maybe the coaches at Thomas University, TCC, Chipola, North Florida, West Florida, all those schools in the North Florida, South Georgia area within 200 miles or so, you get them to come in and you have a mega camp. I think that's a great idea. And eventually getting into where maybe you just have a skills camp. And if you lay that foundation and it becomes a yearly skills camp, I think it's something that could be great. And potentially even get some of the local high school coaches there. I mean, FAMU DRS has a heck of a coach there. Coach Cromartie, I mean, a lot of us FAMUans were over there looking like, well, why didn't she get the job? So, I mean, and I'm not trying to get rid of Coach Pillow. I'm just going to be transparent with you. Like as a fan, one of the questions was, we got a good coach at FAMU DRS that's kicking butt at FAMU DRS. I wonder what she could do at Florida A&M University. Some school's going to get a steal, and we're going to be kicking ourselves. But I digress. So I think that would be awesome. But mentioning women's basketball, Jada Jones from Sandalwood High School, that's over there in Jacksonville, she was offered, and this continued to me what Coach Pillow is trying to do as far as flipping the roster and improving the roster. We did have a little period there where it got kind of quiet. And as a fan, it was like, what are we doing? Basketball is doing stuff, football is doing stuff, baseball was doing some things. Why is it so quiet on the women's basketball front? And now we see some things improve, and we continue to see the offers out there. And as a fan, I need to see that. I want to see that when I am investing into the program, not just fiscally, but emotionally, that there's some things being done to keep the product at a high level and to produce a good quality product that's watchable. Because I don't know if you're like me, I watch FAMU basketball games. If FAMU women's basketball is on Facebook, I watch it. If FAMU women's basketball is on ESPN3, I watch it. I actively watch the games, even if I cannot attend. I understand that even if I put the TV on, walk out of the room, that's ratings. Like, I mean, is it a waste of energy? Absolutely. And do I actively do that? No. Normally it's either on TV or it's on the phone. I may be cooking or something. If we start losing kind of bad, I shut it off. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I actively invest and understand that my ratings matter. And even if you throw it on your cell phone, put ESPN3 or whatever we're on your cell phone, and the advertisers see the numbers. When you're watching the Facebook Live, it shows how many people are watching the game, and I'm pretty sure your advertisers are watching as well. And the chats are fun. Like I know for me personally, I'm not a trash talker. I'm not at all. Despite what y'all may think or see, like I'm very internal. I don't know the proper word. I keep my passion for FAMU. It's I wear it, but I'm not going to talk trash with you, especially if I don't know you. There's like 3 people I talk trash with, and one of them is a Cookmanite that I work with, and it's because it's respect and it's fun. Like I'm not gonna be over there saying anything bad about Cookman. I don't want anything bad to happen to them, but I'm not gonna talk trash with any and every Cookmanite. Like I'm just not. Some of y'all aren't rational. And I'm not gonna talk trash to every Jackson State fan. I got one Jackson State fan I talk trash to. And that individual, I love them like that's another mama of mine. And even when we do talk trash, it's in love. It's not, we're gonna kick your butt and everything else. No, it's normally about the band first and foremost. So it's like, what y'all bringing? Okay, we gonna see. And that's about the extent of it. It's never malicious. It's always fun and it's love because I like the person. They're a good person. They've been very good to me, my family, and I don't want to hurt their feelings because I'm trying to get a jab in. Like this, it's not that serious to me. All right, so, um, but thank you, Coach Pillow. I needed that as far as keep the recruiting going. So FAMU football though, and FAMU football, Bragg Stadium continues to get worked on. If you haven't seen the pictures, the press box has been placed and it's being worked on. And if you haven't checked the FQ FAMU Twitter page, what are you doing? Check it out. We are back from kind of our summer vacation as far as one school wise, but family wise. We've done kind of what we're gonna do. We're gonna be going to SeaWorld a lot though. I'm gonna make them kids go. But for the most part, we've done our traveling outside of going to FAMU events and activities, which some of them we're gonna have to go to. But we're back with full swing on there. And one of the things that we dropped on the Twitter page was something that Vaughn Wilson shared on Facebook when he shared really what the updates to the press box were or have been. But one of the things he's also done, if you didn't pay attention to his Mega Ace thing, is that when you scroll down the page, you can actually see the evolution of the stadium. I think it's a great historical collage. I would almost I would question if you would want to put in the Black Archives just and create a book out of it once the stadium has been completed and kind of show the evolution of Bragg Stadium and maybe include that in the university's history. Just a wild thought, and that it was just organic. That wasn't on the longer version of the pod, but it's just an idea because when I scrolled down, it was cool. Like I saw, okay, this is what the stadium looks like now, and then I just kept scrolling. I was like, oh shoot, he's been tracking this since the stadium project began. Like I thought I noticed it last time, but I noticed it this time, and that was nice. Just as a FAMU and as a historian as well, it was cool. As a person who, when I was at FAMU, my major was history, and I kind of took a sports angle because my professor allowed me to, and I appreciate it, Doc for letting me do that. Dr. Titus Brown, because I had no interest in talking about lynching and stuff, but I did have an interest in sports. So my focus was on Negro League baseball. So I'm gonna have to get a jersey, probably wear it on here. Get a Reds cap jersey though. Jacksonville Reds cap, Red Caps. Jacksonville did have a Negro League baseball team. But back to football. Sorry for the tangent. But that was just a great thing. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. It is on the FQ Family Twitter page. I believe Vaughn also posted it on his personal page as well. And I think Kelvin Rozier from ONG Strike Zone also posted it on his Twitter page as well. So Kelvin does a really good job as well. Him, Kofi, Brian, they do a great job at ONG. So that's not a plug, like paid plug or anything. That's just respect. But FAMU's been offering some players, and we're gonna have to make some updates and kind of cross reference because it was National Offer Day this past week, and some schools literally, if you got offered, they just sent out offer sheets to all the players who have been newly offered and currently offered. So we're probably going to go through that later this evening and say, like, oh, these are the guys who've been offered. But one of them is going to be Antonio Cotman Jr. He is a Boston College commit, 6'3", 190 athlete from Christian Academy in Chester, Virginia, 2023. And again, FAMU continues to stay in the DMV. If you're not familiar, the DMV is Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. DMV. So Wale, Scott A, all those people there. But and we recently got a receiver from there that transferred from Virginia State, came from up in that area. Very talent rich area, especially quarterbacks and defensive backs are they produce high level talent there. Allen Iverson came from that area. EJ Manuel, if you want to reference Florida State, Michael Vick, obviously his brother Marcus. I'm missing the other Virginia Tech quarterback that's in the NFL still, the guy that got punctured lung that was with the Chargers. Gosh, I can't remember his name. That's going to bother me for a while. But I got to keep moving on. Another FAMU offer went to Emeka I believe his last name is Lowe, but it's Lloh, and I don't want to butcher his name. 6'8". He's a tight end, but he also plays basketball. So I'm wondering, Coach McCullum, you gonna offer him? Asking for a friend. The friend is me. So, but McIntosh High School, Peachtree, Georgia, FAMU continues to make sure it's a presence in Georgia. We've now become more of a presence in that DMV area, but if FAMU is able to keep Florida, get talent from Georgia, as we've traditionally done, and get into the DMV area, you're going to have very rich recruiting areas, and that's going to bode well for the future. I don't know about the travel, and y'all have to forgive me. I put a little bit of oil and try to make sure I can't be ashy on TV. Y'all ain't gonna be making fun of me. But that's gonna be a good area and a good get. Like FAMU needs to continue to push into those areas because those are talent rich areas that are football crazed, especially Georgia football, and especially small town Georgia football is a good product. And you can get some good talent that can get overlooked by larger schools. We saw what happened with Isaiah Land, definitely overlooked. And he's not at a small time school. He's at Grayson, which is a football powerhouse, and he's overlooked. And he ends up at FAMU, and then he becomes what he is, which is crazy. Mentioning Georgia, though, two guys, and they were talked about last time on the pod from Crisp County, Amir Dwight and Julian Fox were also offered. So FAMU continues to offer pretty strong in that area. Now, the game in question, homecoming. Homecoming this year is against Arkansas Pine Bluff, and last year we got in that butt. It was 37-7. Last year, Pine Bluff had a 2-9 record. That was coming off of them playing in the SWAC championship, though, that summer SWAC season where Alabama A&M won and they got a SWAC championship. Uh, it wasn't as good for them this year. And their points per game compared to FAMU is leading is gonna lead you to kind of get kind of what's going on. They average 19 points a game. FAMU average 27. Their rushing yards per game 125. FAMU average 157. Passing yards per game 196. FAMU offered FAMU averaged 223. So you're going to see in most of these categories, FAMU is going to have an advantage. And I think that continues. I think FAMU has a talent advantage. I don't know if we have a schematic advantage. I think I don't I try not to say that. I feel like when you say somebody has a schematic advantage, sometimes it's a bit of arrogance. Sometimes teams do have an advantage scheme wise, but I feel like FAMU borders on that because of our ability to run the ball, our willingness to run the ball, and the evolution of the offense that I've seen within the past 2 to 3 years suggests that FAMU has the capability and the ability to run the ball as well as throw the ball. And you're going to put this team in a very hostile environment. Bragg will be packed. It's not 25,000 anymore, but it's an atmosphere. It's going to be Club Bragg. You're gonna have the old heads, you're gonna have the students, and all of a sudden you have this amalgamation of all these people from FAMU. You got the outside the stadium, you got the inside. It's a lot. And it's going to be a lot for a team that's not used to that. Like they may get that when they play Southern. They might get that when they play Jackson State, maybe. Outside of that, I don't know if they play Jackson State this year. They're not going to get that atmosphere a lot. And that's a long travel. That's a long ride. Like that's a flight. And they're going to fly into Tallahassee. I hope they fly. Because if you're taking a bus, God help you. Because that's already a disadvantage. And then you're going to come in a Bragg with that? Nah, bro. It's not going to be pretty. I think FAMU wins this game going away 49-14. I don't think it's close, largely because of the atmosphere. I don't think it's because Pine Bluff's not a good team. I think it's just they're not going to be used to that. And the way FAMU fans are during homecoming and the classic is different. It's just a whole different vibe. And it's a different type of atmosphere. And these folks gonna be Some gonna be a little upset, some gonna be a little drunk. it's it's gonna be a party. And that being said, you don't have your hotel, you might not have one. There are hotels left. I'm not gonna tell you there are no hotels in Tallahassee. You just don't want to pay that price. It's We're talking $300 for the La Quinta. It's not cheap. And if you got some friends, you and four friends may want to get in on a hotel, and everybody bring $100 because it's that per night. We talking $400 a night, and we're not talking about the DoubleTree or the A Loft, Hotel Duval. We're talking about me hotels that are charging top dollar because FAMU and FSU have a home game that day. And this personally is one of the times FAMU needs to get a shuttle. Like, don't even play. Like, I just wouldn't do it. I would just say, you know what? We don't have enough for all this. Let's just have y'all park at the Tallahassee Mall, and we'll take you to the games. Like, it's going to be difficult to get on campus for a lot of people. It's going to be an interesting experience, and it's just going to be a lot of fun because you're going to have concerts, you're going to have the comedy shows, you have convocation, you have so much that is going on that entire week, literally starting. Normally starts like that Wednesday. Wednesday is when it starts popping. Like, it goes the whole week, but we're gonna keep it a buck with you. Wednesday through Sunday is when it's popping because you have the gospel concert too. I don't never go to that. I ain't gonna lie to you. I go to church, but I ain't going to no gospel concert. You start singing the same line over and over and over again. I be sitting there looking like, is the song over? Like, I don't care if it's gospel R&B. You stay in the same song too long, I'm gonna zone out. But that's some of the things. I will give y'all some friendly advice. If you are going to be on campus, especially prior to Saturday or Friday, please do due diligence and get yourself a parking pass. One of the most common complaints of FAMUans is there's nowhere to park. It's a misnomer. There's nowhere close to campus to park, close to the main part of campus. There's almost always parking at Bragg Stadium, but that's a walk. And that's a good walk, especially for some. But do yourself a favor, go to FAMU PD and get a parking pass. Don't be that person up there complaining about FAMU PD and you getting your car towed, because they will tow your stuff. They will put a boot on your stuff, and they will do whatever they got to do to let you know that you did not park correctly. Get the parking pass. It takes an extra 30 minutes. During homecoming, it may take you 45. And because I'm doing this, some of y'all that are watching, it may make it an hour. But do yourself that favor of getting on campus early, getting a parking pass, and not having to worry about getting your stuff towed. It's just it's it's a big difference. For Saturdays, I don't worry about it. They're not going to tow your stuff for softball, basketball, all the other stuff. Very unlikely. Monday through Friday, though, there's a good chance if you're parked in the wrong place, you're getting towed. If you're not a booster and you park in somebody's booster spot, you might get towed. Like, if you're just on campus and you're not supposed to be there, and it's out of abundance of safety. Like, let's stop acting like we're in this vacuum of safety. Like, you need to protect the students, you need to protect the individuals there. Get a parking pass so you can park on campus and just leave your car there. They'll tell you where to park. They'll tell you where not to park. Ask questions. I think all you need is your driver's license and your tag number. And it literally takes 30 to 45 minutes, but it will save you $250, $300 later and hours of headache. Like, just do yourself that favor. Just warning anybody like that's listening. Make sure you do that. I did that in the longer version of the pod as well. Last thing though, we're gonna go inside the den and we're gonna talk about the presence of social media at FAMU. And if you've not been paying attention, and I'm not even gonna plug the FQ FAMU Twitter page right now or the Fangs Up Twitter page. The FAMU Twitter page has been popping. The Facebook, a little bit. Instagram, they do all right. But they've been posting videos. Shout out to Josh Padilla and all that crew over there. They've been posting videos constantly. It has been constant, consistent information and content daily. And as a fan, that's what I want. I want that as much as possible. I do understand during the off season, some of the students aren't there, but man, if we can get some student interns that can do that consistently, heck, as a content creator, thank you. You make my job easier because then I can retweet what you post, and then when I go to the games, I got my stuff, I got your stuff. It just makes the program look more exciting. It makes it look more engaging. It looks more fun. Daily interviews with Coach Simmons, daily interviews with the players, daily footage of just game experience. Like we see our one of our DBs gets 2 picks, the freshman from Rickards, I believe, 2 picks in pretty much 2 days. The second pick, that wasn't the greatest pass. Just gonna be honest, but he got a pick. Like I'm not, you can't take that from the kid. The kid got a pick. Like so, give him that. But we need that, and that is something that is going to help promote the brand because what you'll notice is the top programs in the nation, they may not actively utilize social media that well. Like to me, Alabama doesn't use social media as good as they could. But Georgia, until Georgia won that national championship, Georgia was winning. Georgia was winning the social media war. They were posting, they looked exciting. Like they really made their program stand out and they created a buzz around it. They created excitement around it. And then all of a sudden they got the talent to come there. And now they've got the talent coming there. They won a national championship. They backed off a little bit, but they're still pushing the brand. You're seeing that the programs that are emerging and trying to become more relevant do really well with social media. Hell, UCF does amazing with social media. And you're starting to see they're signing 4-star talent. It may be local talent from Orlando, but still, guess who's not getting that talent? University of Miami, Florida State, and Florida did not get that talent. I'm not saying they don't. I should correct myself because UM just signed a big time defensive end from Jones High School in Orlando. But UCF previously did not have a chance of getting that. And now they're the hometown team. They're going to a big conference. They're making big money. They're investing heavily into their product. And they're continuing to push their social media in a way that it's exciting. My wife's a UCF graduate. I personally don't love UCF. But at the same point, I respect them. Y'all saw FQ Twitter, FAMU Twitter page. I went to their spring game. I sat in the boxes. It wasn't but $20. I ain't balling like that. But they discounted the box seats. You got the box experience. It was really cool. I had fun. And it was like, man, if I wasn't doing stuff with FAMU and trying to act, I would go to their games. Now, I might go to their basketball games because their women's basketball coach goes to my church. So try to support the coach. But still, like, it's kind of exciting to watch the program grow and see what they're doing with social media. And you're able to see a direct correlation because those athletes that are coming up, now they have pride in their hometown team. They're excited to stay home. And there's a buzz around the program. And then they start winning. So now you've been advertising and saying, hey, UCF is a good product. Then all of a sudden you start getting better talent come in and you start winning. And that is how, in this new age, we're going to have to build our products. Yes, we do need a SWAC media network or whatnot, but FAMU's got to do what FAMU's got to do to take care of FAMU. Because in a time when Jackson State is signing deals with American Airlines, that's going to help their fans. That's also going to help their football program and other programs. FAMU, we got to do something with Delta, Spirit, something. Well, I don't know about Spirit because you're not petty. We are. You're going to get them jokes. But Delta, at least, like something. Like we have to continue to create a buzz around our program and around our programs that states that FAMU is a good product. It's a high value product. It's a valuable product that you should invest in, and it's a product that is drawing the best and the brightest student athletes. And you have student athletes that are noticing. They reach out to those of us that cover FAMU and like, yo, coach, how do I get it? How do I get in? Like, what can I do? Spirit, that's a no. Thank you. I see. Yes, that's why I'm like, appreciate you, Ms. Williams. But yes, no. Spirit is a definite no. but we have to find some type of mechanisms. We had the Piggly Wiggly supporting us. That was, I mean, that dude loves FAMU through and through. So you kind of got that honest. Now you got to start reaching out these other companies. You got Chick-fil-A on campus. You have, or near campus. You have Wings, the wing place on campus, Wingstop. Don't ask me why I drew a blank. It's because I make my own wings now and they taste better than Wingstop. But we have all these different businesses and we need to continue to utilize social media to push the idea and push the narrative that FAMU is a high value product and that FAMU is going to be a viable option for years to come. So, as always, y'all, I appreciate your time. I'm gonna shut it off here because some of y'all gotta go to church. I gotta get ready for church. I told y'all we're doing digital church today, so I'll make sure me and my household do it. Because as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. So, and the Lord of hosts, the Lord Almighty, all those good things. I'm not here to preach to you, but I will tell you what we will do in my household. So that being said, see me again this evening, y'all. We're gonna do our normal 8:30 Sunday time, but I wanted to make sure I did not leave out for y'all that watch the show the coverage and what to think of for homecoming. So quick review before we get out of here and before y'all finish putting your clothes on for church or putting on your robes so you can go to pajama church. We did lose Michael Thomas, great FAMU broadcaster. FAMU baseball had a signing. Hopefully, we continue to get better. Baseball season wasn't that bad in the conference. Basketball camp is full. Women's basketball continues to be aggressive in recruiting. Bragg Stadium. Okay, the press box is starting to look better. It's working on me. It's growing on me. We did offer a few athletes. We've offered some more since. And FAMU's homecoming is going to be lit. I think it's going to be a blowout. Please get your parking passes if you're going to be on campus beforehand, meaning anytime before Saturday or Friday night, get a parking pass so you don't get towed. That is something I learned as a student about getting a parking pass, and I've done it ever since. I've never had a problem with FAMU ever since. So get yourself a parking pass. You're going to have to walk from the stadium to a lot of places if you're going to be on campus, but get a parking pass. And lastly, FAMU social media has been hot as fish grease, and it's been really good content. So, as always, y'all, thank you all for listening. Thank you for your time. It's always going to be fangs up because that's what it's going to be.